Hey, welcome to the Educators page. You know, the good part about when I work with educational groups is this. I used to be a teacher. I've been there, and it gives me a lot of credibility. I work with student groups. In fact, I've worked with the National Boys and Girls Club 2 or 3 times. I've worked with gang members down in LA. Superintendents associations, principals associations, educational groups, and teachers, they all have a need, and that's a need to serve kids. Except for the kids, they don't serve themselves. But yeah, actually they do. They need to serve themselves too. So this is all coming together. Basically, what I can bring to your educational group is experience. I have had thousands of groups that I've worked with in the last 20 years. In fact, I'm going back to all the teachers who teach all the kids in America. And it's their association, about 1,800 of them. They're going to be in Chicago. And last time I was there, this is interesting. Last time I was there, I asked the group within the first 5 minutes, how many of you can paint a picture? It's something I ask frequently in a keynote presentation. Guess what? Only 12 hands out of 1,800 hands went up. So I went in the audience. I said, sir, you can't paint a picture. What's your name? Dr. Johnson. Dr. Johnson, you can't paint a picture? Absolutely not, he said. How about you, ma'am? Dr. Smith. Dr. Smith, can you paint a picture? Nope, I can't. I thought, interesting. How much education do we have in this room? How many of you have masters? Wow, pretty much everybody. How many of you have PhDs? I couldn't see maybe 2 or 3 hands that didn't have PhDs. I said, wow, look at all this education, all this knowledge we have, and you're telling me that less than 1% of us can paint a picture. And I said, what if I walked into any kindergarten or first grade classroom in this great country of ours, and I asked these kids, how many of you can paint a picture? How many hands would I have up? And they all agreed. All of them, if not most of them. I said, great. Well, what does this informal study have, based on this informal study, who has more self-esteem, us or them? And guess what they said? They do. Well, of course, if they have more self-esteem than we do, and we're the ones that are modeling all the behavior, then there's a lot we can learn from the qualities we had when we were that age. So a lot of educational groups I work with, we talk about the barriers that get in the way of real learning. And my philosophy as a teacher was, if the kid was 100% there in the classroom, there'd be no need for homework. But most of the times we're spaced out. We're here, we're there. So getting people to be in the moment, to live in the moment, that's where education happens. So give me a call. We'll talk about what your needs are. Looking forward to talking to you soon.